Hello everybody and welcome to the recap of round 41 of the Shuffle. I am your host Noodle Legs and let's get into it. We are going to start off, we'll start off with the worst and go to the best like always. If you notice, I'm wearing my new One Piece shirt. I absolutely love it. But let's get into it. So, starting off, this was in last time it was on 5th place. It's now down to 7th. So, surprise, it is not Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for last place this time. It is, in fact, the Burn segment from Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. This took me 2 hours, 17 minutes, 50 seconds, 0 deaths. Man, this was a rough segment. This was the Tower of Spirits 5 section, and I did not enjoy the dungeon at all. This was the worst dungeon easily for me. Man, I just really didn't like it, to be honest. The whole thing, gimmick was so Zelda gets to play as the thing where you roll around and everything. But some of the puzzles, this was like, especially this one puzzle that was like you had to have the bow things at a certain spot was so frustrating because they never told you the mechanics or anything, just expect you to know them. And so that was really frustrating to me. But just overall, horrible. I did not like it at all. But I did think the boss was really cool. Burn is a really cool boss and really cool story-wise. I enjoyed the story parts of this a lot, but it's not enough to bring this any further up, to be honest. It just did not do it for me at all. Next up, we have the Skeldridge session, which I believe is the Sand Temple. I think we get the Sand Wand, which, if I remember, is a pretty cool item to use. So hopefully hoping that redeems it and everything. But overall, I would say Spirit Tracks is still a step down from Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, which I think are fantastic games. So this is not an incredible game, unfortunately. Next up, moving up to 6th spot. Previously, this was in 7th. Now it's up to 6th. You already know what it is at this point if you've been watching these. It is the Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories section, and the Riku Replica 4 and Larxene 2. I actually combined 2 because I didn't realize we were in the second boss fight, and I beat the first one pretty quickly. This took me 27 minutes, 31 seconds, and 4 deaths. So first we have the Riku Replica fight. Not hard. I have a pretty darn good deck at this point, so I'm kind of just smooth sailing. And then the Larxene segment after that was also pretty cool. So both of those I actually really liked as far as this game goes, but the story parts of it were nominated as admitting to story, like, I'm not the one you're looking for and everything. And you have the whole thing where she stops on Riku and the Riku Replica, and he shuts down. Everything was interesting. And then Larxene defeating her for the final time. Really cool stuff. Next up, we have Axel 2. The second fight with Axel. It's going to take me a little bit of time to redo my deck. I have to pull all my fire cards out, replace them with Blizzards and Thunders. That could take a little bit. So hopefully not too long. But that is a big thing that could take us a bit to just retool our deck. But that shouldn't be too bad. Not too bad. Moving up to 5th place. What do we have in 5th place? Good question. Okay, so this was in the 2nd spot the last time. It's down to the 5th spot, and that is the Sand Prince from Golden Sun Dark Dawn. This took me 2 hours, 17 minutes, 53 seconds. Easily the longest section. 0 deaths, though. So, my biggest gripe with this is there was so much dialogue to the point where, like, at one point I was like, I had to use the restroom anyway, but I, like, left, and I was like, I needed to step away anyway and grab a drink of water and just, like, refresh myself, because it was so much. The main thing we did, we visited 3 different places, kind of a northern place, I don't remember their names, I'm sorry. Northern place, it was a kind of a southeast place and a southwest place. We'd go to the first place, we saw the Alchemy Forge, and kind of climbed this interesting dungeon. Not super in-depth compared to the Compa Ruins. The previous time was really cool. This was not as cool. Then we went down, talked to the king of wherever it was, man, who was a jerk. We sent us out of the Ouroboros, we escaped from there, and then we went over to the other town, Alhafra. It's not called Alhafra, I keep wanting to call it that. There we went into the tree, and with our tree flute, and we kind of did some stuff there. We solved their puzzle as well backwards, and we defeated the Sand Prince, which I thought it's my favorite boss of the game so far, so it's pretty interesting. And due to his, we equipped him the Sand Prince and got his Arid Heat ability, be able to dry the stuff, which is basically parched for the previous game. I thought it was pretty cool. I very much liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. The next one we have is called Kusung and Kuimbra, which I know are the two generals, which means I guess I'm going to fight both of those, which could be pretty cool. I have no idea what that will be like, but be ready for that. That was pretty cool. All right, let's move up to number 4. Number 4. This was in number 1 last time. It dropped down to number 4, which is not too bad. It mainly was... honestly, the biggest thing here is there's a little bit of frustration with how much damage the bug guys did, which I understand better now. We can freeze them in better. Honestly, I'd say the biggest thing that held me back from this is other things have better story components than this one. And the boss in this one wasn't super interested in me. It was one of my least favorite bosses in the game so far. Basically, your goal is to find where the roots are coming from. You have an encounter with the SX, which was very tense, and I just didn't have enough health a couple times. I had to grind out some health, which is not that's not something I really like doing. There's not a really good way to do it. They should just give me a recharge station, in my opinion. But we did that. We escaped from him. The boss basically, it's almost... There's like kind of little spuds at you, they spit at you. You have to shoot at them and then shoot ice missiles to the right at this kind of golem looking thing. Once you get enough of them, then he starts shooting lasers. And you just kind of jump over them. It's very simple boss. The spores shooting out is kind of annoying. The thing that's annoying though is if you get stuck in the water, it's really hard to get out of it. It just wasn't my favorite boss, and they kind of ruined it for me a little. And other things had better story components. So that's why it's this low compared to other stuff, but it is still Metroid. I still enjoy it, so that's why it's not even lower. So moving up to number 3. This was in 3rd place last time. It's staying in number 3. That is the Deathgate, City of Atlantis, and Temple of Poseidon. From God of War Ghost of Sparta, this one took me... Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't finish the other one. The Netary X took me 30 minutes, 46 seconds, 9 deaths, most deaths. And the next segment is the Nightmare section, which sounds really cool. I think that's the TV screen one, possibly, that I've seen, but I don't know. Yeah, sorry. Back to Ghost of Sparta, though. This took us 21 minutes, 33 seconds, 0 deaths. I think this one would have been a little bit higher as well if it wasn't so short, because I felt like I was just like getting into a groove, and it was already over. I was like, man, I want to do that. Keep going. The coolest part of this section definitely was, so I'm trying to think about exactly what we did. Kind of just moving through the city of Atlantis and everything, which is all pretty cool. But the main thing is you see Kratos' mother. He tells you that A, she's alive, B, she tells you who your father is, but he doesn't really explain it to us. And then she says that your brother Deimos is also alive. You have to go save him. So that's our goal now, is to go save him, who is in the Temple of Ares. We're in the Temple of Poseidon, Temple of Ares. And then your mother transforms into Callisto. Your mother Callisto transforms into this monster. And like, while it was not a super hard boss, it was really emotionally resonant and it really worked for me. I absolutely loved the boss. I think it was really cool, especially the story aspect of it. Super cool though. I really like this one. Yeah, I don't know what else to say to that. It just seems really cool. The next section is called the Caldera and Volcano Core. You notice I'm going 2 sections at a time. So the Caldera and Volcano Core, I think it's this kind of underground segment a little bit. We saw a little bit of, I think Linnaeus was his name. We saw a tiny bit of him. So hopefully that is as cool of a section as we just got. That'd be great. Alright, moving up to I think we're on number 2 now. We are. This was in 6th last time. Moving up to 2nd, and that is the GCPD Lockdown from Arkham Knight. This took me not super duper long. This took me 19 minutes, 43 seconds, and a single death. These are just an Arkham episode. This one's about Nightwing. Penguin is trying to escape. His guys are there and everything, so it's 3 sections again, but it's a little bit more fluid than Red Hood, which is was a big thing for me. So basically, you start off, you fight a bunch of guys on the roof of the GCPD, you crash in, you do a stealth section, and then you go back to the roof and kind of take out guys again. So, very basic and everything, but story-wise, I think this word worked better for me because it didn't feel so segmented. So I really enjoyed this. Really didn't. So yeah, that's it for that. Next one we have is Catwoman's Revenge. I know it's about Catwoman It's about Catwoman going to take down the Riddler after what he did to her. So be ready for that. That's going to be really fun. There's a very, very tricky section in there with an electrified floor. So be ready for that. That'll be cool. And we're moving to number 1. And if you hear the music, that's always a clue what got number 1. This was in 4th last time because of a really, really hard section. And it's in 1st this time. It's Chapter 8 Seaside. If you haven't seen it, just go watch the success of the final room. It's such a cool segment, dude. With the hypers and everything, this was really, really cool. I really, really like this. This took me, though, 1 hour, 56 minutes, 39 seconds, just under 2 hours, 537 deaths, which is, you know, this took me less deaths than the Chapter 8 B-side, actually. More time, but less deaths, which is interesting in itself. I thought this was really cool. We learned about hypers. In the final room, it incorporated like all the elements. You had a thing for the first area, second area with the dream blocks, the bouncy things. You had the clouds. You had the thing you dash upon. Super cool. And then at the end, you have to do a hyper. And I get super hyped up. Totally worth watching. Go watch that when you get a chance. It's so cool. It's so cool. But next time we have the final section of Celeste, Chapter 9, Farewell. This could be a beast. I'm worried. Chapter 7, Seaside, took me 6 hours. This could take me just as long. I really don't know what to expect on this. I feel like it's going to be really hard. I'm a little nervous. I'm pretty nervous. So be ready for that. But that is your recap. Really, really cool. I'm really excited for almost all of these. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I really am for the first time. I'm actually excited, even for Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Because we're in the final section and everything. I don't even know if there's going to be a break between Axel and Marluxia, so it might even just being a double segment there. I really don't know. I really don't know. So just be ready for that. I'm super excited, but I will see you guys there for round 42 of the Shuffle. I can't believe we've been doing this for 42 rounds. Absolutely been a blast for me. So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Stay noodly, and I'll see you around 42. Bye-bye.